Okay, let's shift to the next topic. Another young quarterback. Let's talk about him. Dwayne Haskins. Let's talk about Dwayne Haskins. Dwayne Haskins, quarterback for the Washington football team, was recently spotted on social media hanging out with strippers with no mask on after a loss that he suffered to the Seattle Seahawks. Apparently, he was with his girlfriend. A picture was taken on social media that identified the guy as Dwayne Haskins. It's been confirmed. That was him in the picture. He's owned up to it. He's came out and said, yep, that was me. He's apologized, and he's been fined by the Washington football team. They fined him over $40,000. He was stripped of being a captain of the team. You know, that's not surprising to me. And look, I'm not a guy that's given up on Dwayne Haskins. I really was a big fan of Dwayne Haskins back when he was at Ohio State. I'm someone that likes to be patient with young quarterbacks. You know, I think that it's appropriate that a young quarterback gets every opportunity to go out there and show what they can do and to prove themselves. And if a quarterback is very talented, I'm willing to give them 3, maybe 4 years to prove themselves. Usually 3. In certain circumstances, 4 years, you know. I actually was one of the people that disagreed with Ron Rivera benching Dwayne Haskins. I think that definitely stunted his growth once again. You know, he definitely seems to be, well, at first I thought he had matured a little bit more sitting on the bench behind Alex Smith, but so far that's not the case. We'll talk about his maturity in a little bit, but last game versus Seattle, Dwayne Haskins, he didn't play his best game, but I saw some good things. I saw some good throws. I believe in Dwayne Haskins' talent, okay? Despite the flaws, despite the interceptions, despite the missed throws, I believe in Dwayne Haskins as an NFL quarterback. I still have not sold my stock, but I will say this. What Dwayne Haskins did was dumb. It was immature. He should have known better. And if Dwayne Haskins wants to be a long-term franchise quarterback in Washington, in Carolina, in Indianapolis, wherever his future may hold, if he wants to be a franchise quarterback, he's got to grow up. He's got to become more mature. And what Dwayne Haskins did does not make him a bad person. He did nothing criminally wrong. He just went to hang out with his girlfriend and some strippers. And personally, I have nothing wrong with Dwayne Haskins doing that. My problem is you didn't wear a mask. And that shows lack of self-awareness from one Dwayne Haskins, because you not wearing a mask, that shows you're not aware of what's going on. It shows you're not aware of the protocols. And this is the second time Dwayne Haskins has broken COVID-19 protocols. He broke the protocol, I believe, several weeks ago in the team hotel when he tried to sneak a friend in there on a Saturday night before a game, and that's not a part of the COVID protocols. He broke the COVID protocol back then, and he's broken it once again. You would think Dwayne Haskins would know better. And I understand there are other guys out there that made mistakes. Deshaun Watson, this past week, he just got fined for, breaking COVID protocols. But no one's really talking about him because Deshaun Watson's established and he's pretty darn good. Daniel Jones and Saquon Barkley, they were out partying with no mask on. But I don't know how the Giants really addressed that. That's not the point. The point is, we're talking about Dwayne Haskins right here. And to me, this is a red flag because keep in mind, like I said, this is the second time he's broken the protocols, okay? Keep in mind, Dwayne Haskins last season, after his first ever win in the NFL as a starting quarterback, Case Keenum had to take the knee in victory in place of Dwayne Haskins because Dwayne Haskins was too busy taking selfies with fans. Let's take into account that Dwayne Haskins, according to reports, and again, I don't know how true these reports are, there were reports that he was bragging after the Baltimore Ravens game about his stats after his team lost the game. There are reports that coaches constantly have been frustrated with Dwayne Haskins for not applying himself and not really diving his nose into the playbook. And they noticed when Dwayne Haskins was named the starting quarterback of the Washington football team this year that his working habits changed. Ron Rivera talked about he noticed how Dwayne Haskins' working habits changed. And listen, you can be a talented quarterback, but if you're not mature enough to lead a franchise, it doesn't matter. So I could talk about Dwayne Haskins' arm strength. I could talk about the fact that I believe he's a bright guy. But if he's not mature enough to steer a locker room, and if he's not mature enough to lead himself, how can he lead the locker room? So, listen, man, I got some questions about Dwayne Haskins going forward. Again, I've not completely given up on him. I've not sold my stock. But this is a red flag to me. And I'm one of the biggest Dwayne Haskins defenders you will see out there. And let's also keep in mind that Urban Meyer, on the herd with Colin Cowherd, before Dwayne Haskins was drafted, before the whole draft started, Urban Meyer was asked by Colin Cowherd, is Dwayne Haskins, ready to lead $1 billion franchise? And Urban Meyer responded by saying nobody's close. You would think that a head coach that has speaking so highly of Dwayne Haskins would say he's ready. But apparently it just seems like for whatever reason, Dwayne Haskins, his maturity is a question. And I'm starting to wonder if Dwayne Haskins is doing everything he can in his power to become a great quarterback. Because while I hear concerns about your work ethic, while I hear concerns about you going to strip clubs after losses, and again, I have a huge problem with it, but it would help if you're winning games. It would help if you're throwing touchdown passes. I don't know, man. So, again, I have not given up on Dwayne Haskins. I still believe in his talent. However, whether I believe in his talent or not, if he's not mature enough to lead a franchise, it doesn't matter. So in reality, Dwayne Haskins, he has to be better. He has to be more accurate. He can start, to really turn the corner this week versus the Carolina Panthers. The Washington football team has a chance to win the division, and Dwayne Haskins more than likely will get the start. It's about a 50% chance that Alex Smith could play, but all reports kind of point to Dwayne Haskins potentially playing. I could be wrong. Alex Smith, he could feel good on game day. I think Ron Rivera would roll with him. But, I'm just saying, man, Dwayne Haskins, he's got to be much more mature if he wants to be the leader of an NFL franchise and if he wants to be a long-term starting quarterback. I still believe in Dwayne Haskins, but there are some red flags that have definitely popped up that I cannot ignore. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God bless day, and I'm out.